So this is box plus one, just like we ran. If the puck is right here in the corner, our right defenseman, because we're the blue team, is fighting for that puck. Let's say they fight for it back and forth, and eventually our guy gets it. He only has two places he can really pass it. This way behind the net, and this guy would come and get it, and we shift to the other side. Or he passes it up the boards to the winger. Now, the winger doesn't have to mark this guy all the way up here anymore because he has a job to do, which is to be the second man on the breakout. This is the first, that's the second. He has to get it to the center, which will be right here, and the center has to get it to the winger, which should be catching that thing up here. So he doesn't have to be that close to this guy because he has a job to do now, and the more space between him and the guy that's covering him that he should be covering, the better. So he gets that pass. The center is standing between the center and the puck, making sure that guy doesn't touch it. And if this winger gets it, the center gets up to his breakout spot. Now let's say the winger is kind of dropping the puck a little bit and he's stumbling with it. Should the center keep going full speed? No. Timing is everything with passing. So it's acceptable to come closer and bleed a little speed, meaning slow down. It doesn't matter. You can be even closer than that. Anything that's going to help him get that puck to his teammate. And from there, it's the center's job to share it with the left wing, who should also be taking off to his breakout spot. And if he can get that puck to him, that's ideal. The other team's defenseman's job is to stay between the puck and their net. And if we can make sure we can get a smooth breakout, tape-to-tape pass, 1-2 pass, 1-2 pass on that count, we should be good to go. Defense. If the puck's in that corner, we know our job is to guard the front of the net and to stand between the other team's winger and the puck. So if it pops out this way and their center gets it, you can get a stick on it. If it pops out this way and the guy is able to get a pass to the front of the net, you can get a stick on it and knock it away. Your whole goal is to protect the front of the net while it's on this side, and you are the left side defenseman. So that's Carson and that's Miles. Now if things switch, and let's say the puck rolls over to this side of the ice, everything shifts. Now I don't expect the other teams to have good positioning with these two. In fact, they might all be down here. In that case, the only person that's allowed to go help out is the center, and the defenseman just watches here and makes sure nothing jumps out. As soon as it does, that defenseman has the option of starting the breakout that way, or starting the breakout over here, or just hitting the center with the pass or the winger. But for right now, let's assume the other team does have good positioning, because those are the ones that we're going to meet later in the season when they start to nail things down. Puck's in the corner. The left side defense is fighting for it. So again, that's Miles or that's Carson. They're battling for it. If the puck goes to their stick and they win it, but they can't go this way with it, it's totally okay to go this way with it, just like the other guy was. You can either pass it, and this guy can come pick it up and start the breakout this way, or this guy can stay guarding the front of the net, and you can do what they call a position switch. So this guy stays guarding the net like he's the left defenseman, and the left defenseman keeps skating the puck over to this side and becomes the right defenseman. And you just hold that positioning until it's your turn to be off the ice and your shift is over. Position switches are natural, they are common, and it's part of the game. But if that doesn't work, and let's say the other team's center has blocked this off, the left defenseman can find a way to wing that puck up the wall. The left winger just has to be right there to get it. He doesn't need that much space covering this guy anymore. He just has to be in his breakout spot. And the more space he has between him and the guy that's going to block him, the better. The center knows his job is to swing up and be in his breakout spot and get that pass from the winger, 1-2 pass. And the right winger was marking his defenseman, covering him, staying between him and the puck. And he knows his job is to get to his breakout spot, which should be right there. So it's 1-2 pass, 1-2 pass. And that's it, a couple of strides, and now we are officially out of our zone. From there, if we can skate that puck nice and wide and up the middle, that's ideal. If you're all alone, take the breakaway. Don't slow down. Don't give anybody any time to catch you. The center, just because you got that pass off, that doesn't mean you start watching the play. What's better than a 1-on-0? A 2-on-0. So the center's up. What's better than a 2-on-0? A 3-on-0. All the speed you have, you're much faster without the puck, so that's how we're going to work. Now, we've already talked about first guy in goes wide and deep. Second guy goes hard to the net. Third guy goes to the high slot. So, when we're doing that stuff, it's very important that we pay attention to what side of the ice the puck's on. If their defensemen are smart and are able to get back and chase you, if they're able to chase you, that's what passing's for. You just drip that thing over to your friend. The center has the puck, and if the winger even got ahead of it, maybe you don't even need to hit the center, and you can hit the right winger, or the left winger, sorry. Whoop. My mistake. You hit the left winger. You have two options. You can pass it to him or pass it to him. If this defenseman does a good job of getting back, and he's trying to stop you from scoring, and their right defense and their left defense managed to wedge the middle, and now they've got this. Doesn't matter. If this guy doesn't pass at all, he doesn't give it to the center, he doesn't share it to the winger, he goes wide and deep. Second guy goes hard to the net. The third guy goes to the high slot, and it's the same entry. Wide and below the dots, meaning you're now below the dots, which these are the dots, the face-off circles. These face-off dots. You went around the dot, nice and low. The center drove hard to the net. Hopefully the defensemen are doing their jobs for the other team, and they're trying to stay between you and the puck and the net, which gives our friend here the open pass. You can either shoot it, you can pass it, or you can pass it. But that's a breakout going into an entry. Now let's say, for the sake of this, the breakout went according to plan. It went D to winger, it went winger to center, and it went center to winger. And this guy's got it again. If this center can get up ahead of the puck just a little bit, the winger can do his absolute best to give him the pass. And if this winger can take off at the second he gets that puck away and starts getting ahead of everybody, the left wing, and that center can share it to him, as long as everybody stays on sides, we can do the entry just like how we did. Wide and deep, hard to the net, high slot. And that's it. It's the same thing. All you have to know is wide and deep, hard to the net, high slot, first guy in, second guy in, third guy in. No matter what, hockey stays the same. It's just played on about half the ice at a time, and sometimes what half it's on switches. Sometimes it switches when we're in this zone. Totally natural. Sometimes it switches when we're in this zone. Natural. Switches when we're in this zone. Natural.